Sorry, if you could just bear with us just a moment. I've got the originals, so you can hold.
Oh, okay.
We're just trying to get organized, if you give us just a moment. Members of the subcommittee, we're going to go ahead with our business while this information is being passed out to you. What you're receiving, so you can get yourselves organized, you're receiving a committee substitute, which is being presented by the author. And as I understand it, it has incorporated language from the friendly amendments that were offered in the last meeting. However, you are also receiving copies of all the amendments that were offered. So what we're going to do is when we get to House Bill 1239, we're going to ask Representative Sessler to quickly go through the bill and basically highlight what changes he has made to it so that we can delete those amendments from your hands. Then everything that will be left will be unfriendly amendments. And then we'll have to take those up, each one as a vote. And then from there, we will decide the posture of the position of the bill itself. What I'm going to do, since House Bill 1239 has been debated in the last committee meeting, and we pretty much were at a point where we were just offering amendments, I am going to ask to hold off with our discussions, except discussions related directly to the amendments, so that therefore we can move quickly. Again, we have, I believe last time we exhausted pretty much our debate on that. So we were at that point, and we just simply tabled it in order to be able to organize ourselves with the amendments. Is that okay with you, Representative Sessler? So we'll just be at that position to do that. Before we take up 1239, like that, did we pass everything out? Okay. Okay, great. Before we take up 1239, I know this wasn't on the agenda. However, I am going to recognize Yes, I'm going to recognize Representative Benton. And on House Bill 940, which was given a do not pass by the subcommittee. Now, I'm simply going to ask, obviously, the subcommittee may certainly do and proceed as they wish, but I'm going to request the subcommittee to consider moving this bill to full committee without a recommendation so that the full committee can take up the topic of Observe Georgia Day. And I think it would be better at the full committee level to be able to discuss fully something like that had to do with curriculum. So at this time, I'm going to recognize Representative Benton. It says he has further information on House Bill 940, and then we will take it up very quickly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There seemed to have been some concern about some of the language in House Bill 940. It was one of those things where I didn't know that there was a problem with the language until the vote occurred. Even though I did have approval from the State Board of Education for the bill and the language in the bill, have talked with the people at the State Board of Education, have reworded the bill to where I think that it will be more, I guess you would say, more appropriate for some of the people on the committee, although I felt like the bill in its original form was appropriate. Would like for that substitute, and that I thought that those copies would be in the folders. They are not, but we will have them in your folders for the full committee meeting. The bill has been amended to reflect the concerns of some of the members of the committee.
Representative Benton, at this time, would you go ahead and formally make a motion?
I would like to make a motion that House Bill 940 substitute be passed on to the full committee and considered by the full committee at its next meeting.
Very well. And there is a second. Before that, I'm going to take a question by Representative Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I thought we had, point of clarity, I thought we had already made a decision on this piece of legislation, so I sort of, I'm challenging you as a chair. Why should we proceed on?
Again, Representative Benton making the changes on the bill and having spoken to the parties that had objected to it, I believe that it is a topic, eventually, just so you'll know the posture of the bill, it is something that we do want to recommend over to Alfred's Commission on EI Squared, which is handling all the curriculum that's going to be introducing, basically reorganizing the curriculum. And so therefore, what Representative Benton is requesting is a reconsideration of this subcommittee to move the bill without recommendation. That means we're not recommending whether a do pass or not do pass, but to do a recommendation without recommendation to the full committee, and then at the full committee we can proceed with the discussion over the bill and do the referral to the commission if need be.
So you asking us as a subcommittee to proceed on because of technicality?
That is correct, and for us to reconsider his motion.
Okay.
Representative Kidd.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to ask you, am I correct that the wording of this bill has been changed since we saw it?
Yes, it has, and I had copies made, and I thought they were going to be in the folders today. They are not here, but the wording has been changed. And it meets the approval of State Board of Education.
Oh, that sounds good, but it seems to me that we would have need to have a substitute presented before us to vote on it again.
That's what I had.
That is the proper procedure.
Well, I had plenty of copies, and Gina there picked them up from my office, and he has them now.
Okay. Yeah. We're going to pass those out right now, as a matter of fact. Representative Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Could I be recognized for a motion?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that the author of the bill, we table this bill until further day, until we get a chance to look at it and read over it. Would that meet the approval of the author of the bill? I'd like to make the motion.
Just a moment there. Okay. Very well. A motion to proceed to table the bill does take precedence over a motion for a reconsideration. And so therefore, the committee will consider Representative Williams' motion to table the bill, continue to table the bill for further study. Representative Benton, do you object to that motion? He does object to that motion, so we will decide by a vote. All in favor of a motion to table this bill? There is a second. So therefore, let's have the vote. All in favor of tabling the bill, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Let's do it by a show of hands. All in favor, please indicate by raising your hands. All opposed? That motion fails. So therefore, the motion on the table is to reconsider House Bill 940 for a passing on to the full committee without recommendation. Do I have a second on that motion? There is a second. All in favor of the motion indicate by raising your hands. All opposed? By a vote of 6-5, the bill is therefore referred to the full committee without recommendation. Representative Jordan, do you have a question?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'm a little confused here. What's going on? Is this unprecedented? I mean, I've been here for 6 years and I've never seen something like this done. And are you making up these rules as we go?
No, Representative Jordan. This was simply a reconsideration of the vote, and the gentleman moved for us to reconsider, but not to reconsider whether to give it a due pass or a not due pass, but simply to move it to full committee without recommendation, which that is in the House rules.
It's just that it hadn't been used before.
It never has been used. That is true. I agree. The time that I've been here, it hasn't been used. But in this moment, it was appropriate.
Who needs to appeal this to the chairman?
The challenges continue. We've just received word that a full committee is in line to use this room, and according to what I've been told, full committee has preference over a subcommittee. So therefore, we are going to suspend our meeting. It is now 3:11. We're being moved to 6:05. So let's be at 6:05 in 10 minutes, please. 3:20.